when I teach, I notice that, that there isn't a lot of discussion about people actually and how they connect to design in design school. That's not one of the main topics. So I think, we have to start reintroducing, getting more sophisticated about these kinds of arguments.
The primary thing that architects, it's not that they get it wrong, it's that they privilege one thing at the expense of a lot of other things that are also equally important. The kind of overwhelming emphasis that architecture, contemporary architecture in particular, has on form.
That's one thing that I noticed in a theater project that you just finished near Chicago is that it's they're wonderful sight lines for checking people out during intermission and things like that.
That's what we do, right? When we go, we want to be in a space that's safe from the back, and so you can be in like the edge of a forest, and also have that prospect of seeing what you want to see, other people, somebody you want to go out with, or checking people out, what are they wearing, but that's just human nature, and that's why. If you look at plazas, a lot of people inhabit the edges of a plaza and occupy all of those spaces that are looking toward the center. Like if in some place like Venice, for example, mm-hmm. It's just human nature. So I guess observing human nature it's not as scientific, which I'm really excited to learn more about the scientific grounding of these things. But a lot of things are just like watching how people behave in a space.
The hippocampus is the same place where we recognize that it facilitates our recognition of places that we've been before, and it also is the place where we do spatial navigation. And what they found is that these long-term memories were anchored in place. And what's subsequently been shown is that we can't have long-term memories that aren't anchored in place. The big implication of that, and it's not a jump, it's just a logical step, is that our very identities are actually constructed through the built environments that we inhabit.
But what I found, in terms of like how people use space, we've been looking a lot at like more architecture not by architects sometimes, like how things have been developed in a vernacular way, because a lot of times that tells you more about the way people live. So we've found some really interesting examples through looking, not in the typical architecture books.
Just like we see the environment as something that's really important, that's actually new. That happened in the 60s. Mm-hmm. That's when the EPA was about it. Before that, it was like nature. It was rivers and trees and air and things like that. And then suddenly people realized the fact that it's integrated means that if you put something in a river down here, it's going to impact people, 400 miles away and so on. And so the assignment of value shifted in the way we thought about nature when we reformulated it into environment. And that's what I'm saying needs to happen with the built environment. If the design of our built environments can change how our children learn and get them to learn better and change how our mother heals when she's in the hospital, then it's way more important than anybody ever thought it was.